Hey, this is Daniel Pinchbeck for New York Native Underground, and I am here with the geniuses behind Collective Evolution and We Are Change. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Jeff Roberts, and I'm a part of the Collective Evolution group.
I'm Joe Martino, and I'm part of the Collective Evolution.
And my name is Rudkowski of We Are Change.
So what is Collective Evolution?
Collective Evolution basically is a company/organization. It's basically a website that started out during a time when there's a lot of changes kind of going on in the world, and people really feeling that internally there was a lot of confusion going on. They're looking out at the world, they're understanding that visually they're seeing that the world's structures are falling apart. The structures are starting to feel like there's instability everywhere, and ultimately people's emotions were starting to rise, and people were also feeling that there's this consciousness change. There's something that's happening in the world, and it seems to be touching everybody. And I was personally going through a lot of those changes myself, and so it was like, hey, let's get something going where we can start sharing ideas and start sharing some insights that we've been receiving through exploring these topics and through really looking into what is the consciousness shift and where's our world headed.
Where's the world headed? What do we got to do?
I just joined Collective Evolution in the past couple months, and I came from a small town in British Columbia, Canada, and I was just as lost as everyone else was. I was deeply embedded into the education system, and I felt completely lost and unhappy. And I had some instances in my life that caused me to kind of step back and look at all the structures that were in place, and I realized that it didn't resonate with me any longer, and I started looking into the shift that was taking place, and I realized it was a global network that was starting to take place, and I felt like it was no better time to take part.
Nice. And Luke, I understand that you're in love with the current ruling elite. You think they're awesome?
No, definitely I don't think they're awesome, but I think one way of just breaking it down is making people understand what's really happening. We don't live in a democratic society. We live where pretty much under a plutocracy, ruled by the very rich people who pretty much control media and information. And to me, information is power. Knowledge is extreme strength within people to actually inform themselves and actually make wise decisions within their lives. And to me, really just educating people about what's happening is a very key component in waking people up and bringing people to the stage that they should be.
What's the most horrible and disgusting thing that's happening right now?
Horrible and disgusting thing, I would say mainstream media portraying life like it's not, portraying life in a very fake, superficial way that makes people feel down. They depress people. They use our own emotions against us to make us feel down, to make us feel low, to make us feel like we can't make a difference, we can't make a change, like we're worthless, that we should just work 9-to-5 jobs and be slaves to some butthole boss, when in reality, this life has a lot more potential, a lot more beauty, a lot more strength to it than we even realize and understand. And we could grasp it, we could take charge of it, we could change it within a matter, but it takes us believing it. And if we change the media who's telling us we can't change anything, that's the first step to get there.
And Joe, what's the most beautiful and amazing thing that's happening right now?
I think it's the fact that you could see a worldwide movement of people waking up going on around the world. I mean, there's been so many revolutions, there's been so much protesting, there's been so much demonstration of people coming together, trying to get communities together, trying to come up with new solutions. And to me, the sheer numbers is beautiful, because it's showing that people are feeling the change, and they're coming together ultimately through love, which is, I think, the huge fuel behind everything.
And look, what happens to us after we die?
After we die, we become one with the world, with what we have now. I mean, all we are is just energy. The only thing holding us together right now is just some kind of energy form that isn't even really visible. So it's I can't really say. No one knows, but I know it doesn't end here. It's not just. It doesn't just. There's no emptiness. It doesn't just end. There's something greater. There's something more beautiful to it that will continue on after this physical presence is over.
So in Collective Evolutionaries, what do you think is going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years? Do you think this global movement is going to somehow be able to transform the situation on the Earth?
I think so. I think that we're seeing spreading. It's becoming exponential. It's happening all around the world. We might not be seeing it as much in the mass media like he suggested, because they're keeping it from the public, because they don't want people to panic, and they don't want people to know that we're generally unhappy and unsatisfied with the way that the world is being ran. But I do think that we're going to start seeing changes. We already are seeing changes in many aspects, and it's beautiful times to be in.
Nice. Any thoughts about extraterrestrials before we end?
Absolutely. I think there's been a lot of extraterrestrial presence. I mean, ultimately, there's a lot of videos out there that aren't real, but I think there are a lot of real videos, and I've had quite a few extraterrestrial experiences myself. I think they're here to play a role. I can't say accurately what exactly that is yet, but ultimately, my feeling, if I had to go with just my personal opinion, is that in some way they're here to assist, both whether it be energetically or at some point offer some form of wisdom through some sort of contact. I think ultimately that's where things are headed with extraterrestrials.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being with New York Native today, and we look forward to hanging out in the future. Cool.
Thank you very much.